Hola, bienvenido a Delaware. I'm thrilled to be able to share time with you. We have an exciting morning today, and in the next minutes, we are going to discuss why monitoring and observability are about giving our teams and executive superpowers. Let me set the conversation. This will not be about bits or bytes, protocols, or the future, how all will change, or what aspiring technologies must do to succeed. There is value in that, and we might have our own ideas. But I thought about leaving that to smarter people. With this in mind, let's go ahead and get started. Today, leaders face a paradox. On the one hand, the number of tools and techniques available to implement observability and monitoring and application management is growing rapidly. Further, with advances in information technology, the ever-growing legion of management consultants, it's easier than ever to learn about techniques and how to use them. On the other hand, there is very little improvement on the ability of organizations to incorporate these innovations into their everyday activities. Identifying and learning new improvement methods no longer represent a significant barrier to most leaders or managers. In other words, it's not just a tool problem, any more than it's a human resources problem or a leadership problem. Instead of a systematic, you are not able to create a Six Sigma development plan from the outside. Successfully implementing those innovations represent a challenge. That's why this must be developed from within. This brings to our superpower number one. People comes first. Decisiveness makes all the difference. You need to have teams that share your vision, that make your vision theirs. If that's not happening, then change needs to happen. Results matter. Despite the human side, great leaders understand that they need to make tough decisions, those that affect their people and the company's health. Since we're talking about people, executive, and business, the magic occurs when we connect the business value to the outcome. We should not do pie in the sky research and development or implement the latest bright, shiny object without knowing the business case and the long-term business value. We should focus on enabling, improving the business, and driving all the important metrics. In the end, there is a theory. The best IT leaders do all of this, and by telling our story, I hope that you can elevate and feel passionate. Our superpower number two is start with the end on mind, on what is the business value creation. To get to the value creation, you must ask thoughtful questions like, what could go wrong? What can we do to be more relevant? Outsource or not outsource? And if we outsource, how do we do not end up in a locked vendor technology? And how do we get out? One of the most challenging things for IT is to bring their accomplishments to life. For example, virtualization can increase server capacity, but it's not something that the user can touch and feel. Providing mobile access to corporate systems through tablets or smartphones is clearly tangible. In the business seat, when you are in front of a team or a room full of executives and the light goes off, the true moment starts. You have a few minutes to create engagement. You're introducing an idea or looking for a decision, and the screen goes on. And at that point, you need data. This is another way of differentiating yourself in the industry. Jim Barkler, former Netscape CEO, once said, if we have data, let's look at the data. If all we have are opinions, let's go with mine. This is a clear example of a superpower. You must provide hard facts and data to shape thoughts, decisions, and providing organizational changes or digital transformations. This is how most of us have come across while influencing change. And these working practices are difficult. The right decisions supported with good data can help a business in a way that a hunch never could. When we talk about observability and monitoring, these are two terms that typically get mixed in words and practices. In simple terms, monitoring is about how you react when the unexpected happens. On the other hand, observability allows you to proactive prevention. Now, it's important to highlight that both of these concepts rely on similar data. I'll share with you a story. We were experiencing performance issues in one of our service delivery to our customers. The conversations between the application team, the network team, and the database were reaching a point with no resolution. And a mentality of this is not our root cause. This is not our problem. This is where observability data comes in and hard data. The data allow us to realize that we hadn't had in the room security. We identified that the antivirus was impacting the performance of the service that we were delivering. This is when I talk about the superpower of providing data. This demonstrates that experience does not always have the answers. This translates into confidence. Confidence allows you to take more responsibility. Now, let me be clear. Investing on the latest software or technology does not provide a superpower to our teams or executives. What brings superpower is how successful leaders turn negative perception into a success story. This is a critical element. It's much more than just fixing issues. Let me share with you an analogy. If you're playing a game and it's tennis and you are down 1-0, it's not about tying the game. It's about winning the game. And this brings me to the fact that you gotta be known for something. What does people think when they talk to you, when they Google at you? We need to leave a footprint, not because of the arrogance that we want people to know who we are, but it's about how we influence change so that people know that we have put blood, sweat, and tears, and that we understand that we have a passion for change. We get hired for our skills, but nobody just hired us for our skills. People are counting on us, and as leaders, that we will be able to affect change. All the communication and all the transformations are about how to affect change. As leader, there is always this sense that there is always watching you. It takes mental preparation to learn to listen to people and receive feedback. IT cannot act as a silo or get in the way of productivity and results. Observability and monitoring is a toolbox to accomplish process reengineering, and in most company operations, every single path somehow, through IT, reveals that we're part of a very significant improvement process and the role that we play or we allow on it. Sometimes adversity ends up with opportunity. Observing the process or the performance is not improving. Managers conclude the particular improvement method is not working and then they abandon it. Since the need to enhance remains, the search for another, more promising tool, only to find out that they suffer from a similar fate. This grows unresolved on cynicism on teams and executives or any program. It takes time to cover root cause problems and discover and test to implement solutions. The actual performance of any process depends on two factors: the amount that we spend on working and the capability of the process that used to do that work. Monitoring and observability allows you to become a storyteller who, through visualizations, can back up your narrative. That's why our next superpower is being able to keep it solved. An important lesson to share today for those working on a massive transformation or through any long-term initiatives is that a few things will be guaranteed. Number one, it won't be easy. There will be roadblocks and any variety of setbacks. Number two, the biggest impediment is changes to the team. Executives retire, business unit leaders can be replaced, and the IT team leader will see inevitable turnover. CIOs talk about partnering with the business and to get support so they are able to obtain the approval for big software purchases. The initial go ahead is just the start. Keeping everyone focused is primarily your job. Regardless of today's executives around you or the number of the team members, some of were not when you set the vision. You have to be passionate about what your business value proposition is. And you have to be as passionate as year one as year six. No one has heard that vision a million times. Keep it so, especially through the tough time. You are responsible for the entire process. It's rare for an IT leader to have endless cash flow coming in. There's always pressure to keep spending flat and do more with less. But there is a time when you have to go for a new spending, when you have the capacity-driven spending or new regulations that must be met. So in this specific scenario, you have to put yourself in the position of a salesperson. This is superpower number 5. Give your team the tools that they need to perform at their best. The pandemic caused many information workers to shift rapidly to full-time to remote work and change how we collaborate and communicate in work. This superpower is about creating the space where ideas emerge and discussions start. This translates to bring everybody in the same room. To navigate through technical and executive teams, you should not be afraid to take on big risks or pitch big ideas. To do that, you must know how to speak the language and justify the investments. Answer the call and step up. When you are calling to action to save the company, not every leader has what it takes. In my experience, point number 6 is where usually IT is trying to catch up with the culture. Change brings tension. This is required. We're better when we incorporate tension and the perspective of others. When the perspective is different, tension occurs. We should seek to have more creative tension without the decisiveness that prevails in our society today. When I was younger, I used to believe that everyone's role was to agree with me and do as I say. How wrong I was. I learned, and I do it fast. And with the scar tissue, this is the next superpower: listening. Monitoring or observability in IT is as complex as trying to make one shoe for everybody's feet. Hybrid environments do not have the same on-prem or cloud requirements. Microservices, service catalogs, and APMs are complex worlds. When we talk about listening and tension, some leaders like to put destructive tension in, make people to fight for their lives or undermine each other. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about collaborative tension with people that have different skills and the audacity to be able to say to their managers, no, this doesn't work that way. or I don't agree with that. And there's no intimidation because I am the boss or you are the boss. We work together, we hash it out. Now, as a leader, I do insist that once we all hash it out, we have to come to a conclusion. And now we're all going to execute, everyone holding accountable to what we agree. So I came with a particular point to the table, and it's now informed and discussed, and we have different perspectives. But now it's about execution. Leading an IT is an opportunity. Most of organizations today are looking for a single common platform. However, it's not about technology. Monitoring and observability could be implemented with any set of technologies. They're all commercially available. There are no exclusivities around it. It's not what you use, it's how you implement it and how you leverage technology to come together to tune your business model. Either way, technology will be involved. You need the right team, you need the right leader. And this is the final superpower. Negotiate money, outcome, technology, business value, but don't negotiate time. Keep it cool, don't lose confidence. Visualize a problem and set deadlines. Over budget and under delivering are big issues. A PM doesn't guarantee successful delivery. It's about adapting to different requirements and demands. Create energy, and at the end of the vision, pull the best people. I hope that today we have successfully shared with you how, what we have done, but more importantly, why we have done it this way. I appreciate your time, and if you would like to share your story or reach out to me, I will be leaving here my contact information. Thank you. Have a great week ahead. Enjoy the nugget sessions, and I'll see you until next time.
Superpowers.